Thank you guys for being here. I know some of you were on like every call, so way to dedicate. I just didn't want to reschedule this once I found out that the business call was tonight too. Well, I knew it was tonight, but then forgot it was tonight because of the holiday or whatever. But thank you for being here. I just wanted to make sure that we kind of addressed everything and welcome you to the September Jumpstart Your Soul. It was called the New Specialist Bootcamp before, and now it is called Jumpstart Your Soul. So thank you for being here. It is 30 days. It's actually a little longer than 30 days. Just because once we get through the 30 days, then I touch a lot more on the stuff as far as like keeping in contact with your customers and stuff like that. Okay. So some of you have been doing the business for a long time. Some of you are brand new. I'm always tweaking it just a little tiny bit, but the whole intention of this training, if you will, is to follow the post every single day because there is a rhyme and reason for it. So for instance, what we will do is we kind of figure out how to write your story. So even if you've been a specialist for a long time, there's like actual steps of like, how can I craft this story to kind of get it out there to the universe? And even, people, they know that you do the business, but maybe sometimes we're not talking about it enough on our pages and stuff like that. And so we just want to really boost our algorithm. That's what we do when we use the CRM. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the week. But we want to get our story out there. We want to start posting on our page, and we want to start interacting with other people, because once you start to interact with other people, we're not just saying like, hey, you're going to message everyone and tell them that you're doing this business and will they buy from you? No. The point of the CRM is that you'll start to reach out to new people. You'll go to their pages. Hold on. Okay, sorry, it was kicking back. You'll go to their pages, you'll kind of scroll through their page, like some of their posts. Is there anything you can comment about? And then if there's anything that interests you that was on their page, or like maybe little Susie started second grade and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe little Susie's in second grade already. Kind of those kinds of things. Okay. So everything that we do in Soul and on our teams is, we really are sharing from the heart. We're not here to be salespeople, and people can tell that because of how we run our business and how we kind of, hold ourselves in the social media light. And then we're lucky enough to have people like Chris DeVilliers that's here. Some of our other awesome ladies that have been with the business forever, they're practitioners and they help us find the right words sometimes, and all of those things. They're more of in-person people, and so for a lot of us, we're going to be more online. Now, with that being said, don't think that because you're doing this and because you're learning all of the online stuff that means that that's how you have to do most of your business, because it's not. A lot of you might want to start doing like a foot detox night or a spa night at your house, or where you're making some of the scrubs and soaps and some of that stuff. And we'll kind of talk about that. Actually, Amy just did our previous call. She's like the master at that. She has a lot of success with doing that. So she's going to be putting together a little training as well that will kind of be called like outside of the box, or, what else can you do? So don't think that this means like you can only do it online, you can only use a CRM, but I will tell you that even the people that do a lot of their stuff in person, that this is kind of the secret sauce of what's missing. How do we get to the next level? The CRM it keeps track of adding new people to your network, and it keeps track of like, at some point, it's a really big problem to have, I know, but most days I'm having 45 conversations a day. So if I weren't tracking that, and let me say this, when I'm not tracking that, okay, because there's some days where I am too busy by the end of the day to track those conversations, okay? So then I'll go to track a couple of days, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot even that 2 days ago I talked to so-and-so and they were ready to order. Okay, so that's the whole rhyme and reason to why you do that. It's to get your algorithm built on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you might use. But it's also to be really good at making sure that you're keeping track of the conversations you are having, finding the right wording when you're talking to people. You know, we touched a little tiny bit about that on the just the team call, is like, you know, when I'm talking to people, even before they order, I kind of just put it out there, like an expectation that they can expect that I'll be checking in with them very, you know, very often, because this for a lot of people is maybe the second or fifth or seventh product that they've tried, right? So they're probably uber skeptical to begin with. So we just want to, like, right away from the beginning, we want to let them know that we're different. And so you want to do that by just kind of in the wording that you use. You know, one of the big things that I tell people just when I'm talking to them about the products is right away, I'm like, you know, what's really amazing is that you're going to get the same wholesale price that I pay. You know, I send them to my website so that they can see, you know, I'm like, all of our products are from like anywhere from 23 to, you know, $36 typically, you know, letting them know that kind of stuff ahead of time, because most people are thinking like, oh, this is going to be like $400, or, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of us came from other companies or have used other products where they're, for one product alone, it's $130. So any of those little things that you can kind of say just in the beginning, letting them know that you're going to be checking in with them, because that's the other thing. People have ordered from other companies, and what happens after they order? The people never check in until it's day 29 and they're wanting that reorder, right? So we're just going to let them know that we're going to continue to check in. So everybody got a binder, and even though we do most of our stuff online, it is kind of still nice to have this like paper binder, but I want to go over that really quickly, and then I just want to let you guys know that every single day by 6 in the morning I have the post scheduled out. There are going to be a couple of days a week where I'll probably hop on and do a live video. I didn't do a ton of lives the first couple of months just because we also had the other training going on, and some people were doing both, and it really is kind of too much to do both groups. And like I said, there's a rhyme or reason as to why the posts are the way that they're posted. So we'll kind of craft that story the first couple of days. We will get that posted. And then from there, we will be, oh no, you're okay. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry about the link. I hung up on everybody and then came back over here. We're going to be inviting then to a huge team-wide happy hour. For those of you that are brand new, what that means is we'll use your story to get some curiosity, and then we'll kind of, you know, maybe be having conversations with people, thanking people for supporting your story, even if they're just liking your post or whatever they're saying there. And then we're going to do a happy hour, which is just it's actually an educational day. So Amy and Melissa, they are our happy hour geniuses. They, you know, have created templates and stuff like that for us, but they schedule out the group for us. Okay. So that will be the second Wednesday of the month. So the posts go in order the way they go because it leads up to this happy hour. Okay. And then what we are going to do, we were doing it back to back, but from this month moving forward, so it'll be this, I hope I'm telling you the right dates right now. I don't have my calendar in front of me. The second Wednesday will be the team-wide happy hour. And then the third Wednesday will be a team-wide business prospect call. Okay, so you can post about that. If you're brand new, you might not necessarily be, you know, putting out there that you're trying to recruit to your team right away. But if you have members already that have been on the products, if you have people that were like super interested about your story when you posted it, because also in the story, you'll see the last little tidbit is that I also ask you to just say one little thing about your business. Like, what can you already say about your business? Even if you're brand new, whether it's just like, I can't believe how much my health has changed already, or, you know, last month was my first month in the business and I was able to pay for travel soccer, whatever that looks like. I know sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to put that out there, but that's what they want to know. They want to know, well, Are you being successful? Do you really like the business, or is this just something that you started doing just to start doing, kind of a thing? Also, you'll see a lot of stuff that seems like repetitious, and it is for a reason. So like every day I'll be like, what personal development are you listening to? It's very important in this business, and I just think in life in general. There's one thing that I came from Beachbody, and I was like the person that like kind of was like, I don't need that. Like I do really well in my business, and I don't need someone else to tell, like whatever. Well, listen, my personal growth has come so far from starting to do personal development, right? Like it led me to meditation and like all of these other things. And so there's going to be ups and downs in the business. And so it's really important to just always be fueling our brains with goodness, whether it's podcast or reading or Audible or watching YouTube. If you really want to kick in the pants, like Gary Vaynerchuk, he will definitely put you in check. Like when you think you're too busy to do this for 1 hour a day, he'll be like, okay, awesome. Well, guess what? I wake up at 3 a.m. and I go to bed at midnight, and what's your excuse? So, Eric Thomas is another really good one. Gabby Bernstein. There's just a ton of awesome, tons and tons of different ones that you can choose from. So that will be important. You'll also learn about, the power of using like three-way conversations. Most of you on here I've been in a three-way conversation with you. I've asked Chris DeVilliers to get on with me. We kind of all, we help each other just across the board, because it's like The Go-Giver. If you've never read The Go-Giver before, it's a great book to read. Jordan, when I started the business, he just kept being like, oh yeah, so have you read that book yet? The one I sent you, The Go-Giver? And I'm like, no. And I actually ended up reading it, I believe, on the way to Utah for leadership. And I read it, the entire thing, on the plane, because it's a short read, and all of a sudden I got there and I was like, oh, I'm the Go-Giver. And he just was like, you are a go-giver, yes, but it's just that pay it forward thing. But the nice thing about using the three-way conversations, you guys, is that when you start any other business, usually you're left on your own, right? Like there's an upline and you sign up and then they kind of leave you on your own. You're supposed to figure it out on yourself. But also the power of three-way conversations is that you can then hear how we talk to people, right? We don't sound salesy. Like we're not trying to talk somebody into something. We ask a lot of questions. We listen to them. We really want to try and hear what's going on with them, because we really honestly do. And then also the power of using a three-way conversation is that you don't look like you're trying to be the expert, because right away they're thinking like, you're brand new at this. How do you know what I need? Right. So you'll see some of that posted right away this week. There's different pages to plug into. There's Find Your Soul. There's also Soul Naturals Experiences, which is great. That one's been around for years and years. Also, I always add people to that if they have very serious things going on, kidney failure, maybe cancers, things like that. Like that's really going to be the place where you want to add people if they've got really huge stuff going on. So kind of take note of that. And then, using the health assessment, or it's the product selector is what it's called on the website. What's powerful about that is that it's showing them that we're not trying just to sell them anything. They're answering questions about their health, right? So that's when you can be like, you know what, I'm not really sure about that. I'm going to put Amanda Abbott's been using the products forever, and she uses this with her son, or Steph does this for her, she was on anxiety meds, and whatever that looks like. Just bringing people in to kind of support you in that manner. If the good thing about the binder is I'm a super visual person. So I like this part of the binder to like actually write stuff down, to read it, to kind of like have hands-on information. So I'm talking about the Success Workbook, which is the second part of this binder. The first part is a happy hour guide. Those are some great sheets that you can use to try to familiarize with the products in the beginning. I know a lot of people get overwhelmed in the beginning, where they're like, oh my gosh, but I'm not a practitioner or herbalist or whatever. How am I ever going to know? Well, one of the ways that I taught myself, you guys, is as I was going over their health assessments and I was going, oh, okay, well, it looks like number one on your health assessment is maca. Oh, well, it looks like maca balances hormones. So all I was doing is I was pulling, there's a file, and I'll put it in the training as well, but if you look under Soul Legacy, or if you look in the back end of your office, which I'll show you in just a second also, it's literally called All Products. It's every single product that we have, and it's every single information sheet. And so as I was starting to read people's health assessments, I was literally just reading them the information off of the product information sheets, okay? So that's a really great way to start to teach yourself. So maybe even you want to print that off. Otherwise, this happy hour guide has little talking points as well. So you can start to like get to know products on that. But what I want to do is just, I'm going to go over probably the first, probably today we'll just go to about page 11, and then maybe at the end of the month we can go over the rest of it. You can go and read on yourself to continue if you'd like to. It tells us about the Soul Quick bonuses. Basically any order over $100, if it's a brand new member, you get 30% of that. If they sign up right away as a specialist, you get 45% of that, okay? Then those orders as reorders start to become your residual income, if you will, the following months. So in the beginning, it's very important to get new members. That's your goal, is you want to start to get as many new members as you can, because then you're going to see that instant money, okay? As you continue your business and grow, the weekly paychecks are still great. But like me, I really look forward to my once a month paycheck, right? Because that's a big, big difference. And so that's why it's important to keep on top of your members and to keep them reordering. We do have it's called Soul Safe. That's our auto ship program. I kind of shot myself in the foot in the beginning because I kind of was like, oh, and it's awesome because, you know, we don't require people to be on auto ship, right? But we have a very, very, very good program where they get up to 25% in rewards if they're on auto ship. So it's just kind of a no-brainer. But you can tell them, you know, what I would try to say is it's really best if we can do a 60 to 90 day protocol. You know, we'll reevaluate throughout the process. You know, let's just try the auto ship, you know, for that long. They do get an email reminder telling them that, hey, your auto ship is about to come out. If you need to make changes, please do so. I believe they send it again if you're anyone like me that gets that email and forgets to update your auto ship, and then you actually have to end up calling Blake on the day that it got batched the night before. Anyways, they do remind you. So if you want to tell your people that, you know, you'll get an email reminder, this just gives you more rewards, you know, all of that good stuff. Anything that you can tell them ahead of time and upfront, you know, that's really just kind of, you know, leading with kind of a servant's heart for them. Be like, listen, you don't have to do that. We've been getting emails, yeah, for a while now. So you will want to, do you get an email when your shipment goes out, Amanda? Huh. Yeah, you should definitely, maybe it is working now. Okay, just not an auto ship reminder. Yeah, you should be. Maybe you just didn't have, well, you've had to have one come out now. Anyways, yes, we should. That was one of the things that I was like, can we please have an email go out? So it does go out for most people, just maybe not you. Any of you other Canadians? Is anyone else here? I'm just wondering if maybe it's for some reason. Okay. Anyways, like I said, anything you can kind of tell them ahead of time is just, you know, try to lead with a servant's heart. So I love, love, love. This is one thing that I will tell everybody until you get to an actual live event, which is Orlando next year. If you guys, oh, my voice is very raspy right now. Maybe that's why. One thing that I absolutely love the most about the company is our team is amazing. The company as a whole, like everybody, it's not even really like there's teams, like we're all one. We all love and support each other. And it's really amazing to see that in person. But also the founders and like Dr. Allison and Chris DeVilliers and all of these people that have contributions to what our products are. It's mind blowing. Like you really will never see or feel anything like that. And so it's really important to get to live events. And so I always get really excited just about this first page where Greg is talking about like, why soul? But listen, every company is going to say that, right? In their binder, you're going to see a CEO like saying like how great their company is. But when you really realize like that they are so selfless, like they are just, when I started this business, I was on Zoom calls with the guys a lot in the beginning. And I was just like, I just don't understand. Like, why? How is it that these products are so affordable? And how do you guys make money? And, you know, all of this stuff. But it really comes because they started without debt, you know, and their vision is truly to help change the world in the business and in health and all of that. And so, you know, I read this reason why Soul Naturals, but I know Greg, I know his heart, you know what I mean? So I want you guys to just read over that page. His story is amazing. You know, they have been in the herbal industry for a very, very long time. His wife, they were taking products before, but they were taking like tons and tons and tons of products, right? And so that's the power of adaptogens. And every single one of our products has at least one adaptogen, meaning it balances your body and mind, brings your body to homeostasis. There's so many amazing properties about our products, but you know, it's the purity and potency. Their standards, our testing standards, what we test for is far above really anything that most people are coming across. I talk to a lot of practitioners and naturopaths now that have never heard about Soul before. And then once they see our products, they're just blown away because they can only get as good as what they find, right? So that's just something that's super humbling as well. The second page, well, I guess it's page 5 actually. Page 5 is going to be, what is your reason why? And if you've been in another company or you've listened to personal development, everybody's going to ask you what your why is, okay? This is a very serious, it's actually a very, very serious topic. A lot of times when people start, their why is very, very vague, or, you know, it's like, well, I don't want to say anything. Your why is going to change. Your why is going to change with your business changing. It's going to change with you growing into yourself and into like what you hope to do. It changes your family dynamic. It kind of changes everything. And so just take a little bit of time to write that down. I'm not going to ask you to share your why in the group or anything, because for some people it's very, 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 very deep. Like mine is right now. Mine has changed again also. And so please, once you have that page filled out, send it to myself or send it to your upline. You can send it to both. But know that you can send it to me and trust me 100%. I will never share that with anybody. But sometimes I'm able to help you further if I know your why. Okay. So, and I also may say, oh, that's great, but let's dig a little deeper. Because sometimes we're like, oh, and it just really, like, if your why is big enough, it will help you to show up for your business. Okay. It'll help you to show up when the day was busy, or, you know, somebody threw up, or, you know, whatever. I had a really, really emotional day today. My son, I believe, is going to be getting diagnosed with sensory processing disorder. And so I'm actually very excited to know that and to move forward. But I was drained earlier today, and I certainly could have been like, all right, you guys, I'm going to reschedule the call, but I have 25 of you on a call. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, there's never going to be a perfect time at all. And, you know, if you're here to do this, then please show up for yourself. So finding your serious why is going to be important. That's why I'm here right now. Okay. Set goals, page 6. This is going to be huge. And this is a good one to think about too when you're talking to your members. Not if you were to dream big, but if you were to dream big, where would you like your health to be in 1 year? That's a great thing to say to your member or a person that might become a member. If you were to dream big, where would you like your health to be in 1 year? You know, that's going to be a great question to ask, because some people are going to be looking for a quick fix. You know, some people start Soul and they literally are like, oh my gosh, my life was totally changed in 3 days, right? Like, we know that the products are great. And that's how I kind of was in the beginning. And I just remember people being like, oh gosh, just wait till like 3 months, just wait till 6 months, just wait. You know what I mean? Now, when I look back, I didn't have anyone go over my binder with me. So all of a sudden one day, like 9 months later, Jordan went over it with me because my upline's not really around. So luckily I've been adopted by all of these other amazing people. But I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember what I felt like before that, you know, like you remember, but you don't really remember. So this is great stuff to write down. If you achieve that health goal, how will your life change? That's something that you can ask somebody. You know what I mean? That's, how long are you willing to take the products? Another great thing to ask your members. You know, there are people that have years and years and years of exposures and antibiotics and medications and treatments and steroids and all of these different things, right? How long are you willing to take these? How long are you willing to give yourself to get better, right? That's huge. Same thing. What are your financial goals? If I would have wrote that down in the very beginning, you know, I kind of talked about this just a little bit ago on the earlier call. You know, I've been going for 75K for about a year, and I didn't hit it. I just felt just short of it. But my financial goals are going to be met, right? Like I do set financial goals every month, and then I do set that number goal. It's not always a rank. I walked away, as you guys were kind of talking about that on the team call. It doesn't have to be a rank, you guys. You'll never really hear me tell anybody like, oh, well, you should have hit that next rank. Never. What matters is that you're doing good and you're feeling good and you feel like you're growing and you're helping more people, and that's going to look different to everybody. So my goal, I have a financial goal that I want to meet because I'm going through a separation right now, right? That's all part of my why. So I have a financial goal, which is going to be met, even though I fell short of that rank, right? So I love you guys. I'm trying not to read because I don't want to cry. So just knowing, like, financial goal is huge. A financial goal does not mean a rank goal, right? If you know that a lot of people have a hard time being here and saying, like, I want to make $100,000, or think that it's silly to say that out loud, or think it's silly to say, I want to make $5,000 a month, or I want to make 500, or I want to make 50, whatever it is. Sometimes people feel like if they're saying that out loud, that means that they're just in the business for the money. And that's absolutely not. We're not just here for the money, but we are here for a business, right? So just kind of be honest with yourself about what that looks like. And then, and I'll have you guys send me this in Messenger in a private message, because again, that helps me to know how to help you set your goals in the beginning. Or like, realistically, what does that look like? Okay, once I set up my CRM, how many people should I be reaching out to? That just kind of helps me know that. What financial goals do you have 5 years from now? To tell you the truth, I have no idea what is possible for me. I've been in the business for 2 years. Like where I already am, I can't really, I don't know what that could look like in 3 years from now. Every one of you that's on this call, I don't think you have any idea until you get to a live event, like where you're sitting on this gold mine. Gold mine meaning in what our products can do to help change people's lives, but also what the business can do. You guys, the company has been around for 7 years, but this is still the very beginning of Soul. Like you're still way, 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 way up here. And also with what our compensation plan is, there's no holdups. So even if, you signed up 2 years from now, you're still potential in this business is always going to be that high, because we don't have all of those setbacks. You know what I mean? You're not going to be held back if people go stale under you and all that stuff. And we'll kind of talk about that a little later in the month. What ways would your life change if you hit those goals? And this is important. Think about your daily living, your relationships, your hobbies, traveling. Do you want to commit more to charity, service, all of those other things? When you imagine your business, what do you see? This is a really great thing to think about too when you're doing your vision board. That's what a vision board is. What do you see? What does that feel like? What would it feel like? In my previous business, I always earned going on these trips, but that meant, that I was still paying a few $1,000s for plane tickets. And then I was, paying for the room or, whatever. Now what it looks like is that me and usually my son get to go on these trips fully paid. Our flights are paid for. Our accommodations are paid for. I get to show my son the world. That's huge for me. That's super duper important. That means these nights when I'm up till midnight working, that's what it's all for, right? How much would you like to earn? How much time do you have to dedicate? That's a really important thing for everybody to know. It's important for you to know. It's important for your upline to know. Because if you're like, well, I'll probably work an hour a week. You can do that, but you're not going to go very far, right? This is my silly thing. I don't even know where I came up with this, but if you owned a bakery, right? You couldn't just show up the first weekend and make the wedding cake and then decide that you weren't going to bake wedding cakes from there on out and think that you're going to stay open, right? So this is your business. You have signed up and you have decided to do this business. So don't give up on yourself, because you are the first person you're going to give up on, right? It always happens that way. You have a family, you have priorities, you have other things going on. I get it. So do all of us. I am very, very, very extremely busy, but I operate the best being very busy. That's just who I am. So I teach fitness classes. My son's home full time. I mean, now he's in kindergarten, obviously. I do this full time. I'm a mentor with a gut health school. I have 45 to 55 conversations on Facebook every single day and help many of my teammates with their conversations. You know what I mean? So yes, there is, I will post compensation plan stuff. The other thing really about the compensation plan, you guys, is that you kind of learn as you go. It's not going to say like if you have 4 customers you'll make $500 a month, because every customer's order is going to be different. So it's just really the most that I really touch on in the very beginning is knowing that every order over $100 that's brand new, you get 30% of that. So if you want to make $500 a month, okay, so if you have 4 orders that are $250, you make, you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of can reverse engineer it like that in the beginning. Then the reason why the compensation plan looks difficult is because we get so many different bonuses that I honestly I couldn't tell you like I have no idea what my check's going to be this month. It's just nice. I get my check and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? I got a high five over here and I got my $800 car bonus over here. And you know what I mean? Like there's so many different things. The biggest thing to know is that with most companies, you get paid your highest percentage on your first level, meaning they never want you to grow, right? What happens with Soul is that you get paid the highest percentage on your highest level. So as you grow, as you start to grow your team, if your highest level is a couple levels down, you still get paid the highest percent on that level. You also, once you hit a certain rank, that's when you get paid an additional percentage on top of that. And then you get mentor matches and stuff like that. So that stuff's in the binder right here too. But I don't go super deep into it, basically because I just am always like, oh, wow, sweet, I got another bonus. But also I do post a video that's better explained by Lydia in this training at some point. Okay, so how long are you willing to work to achieve your goals? How much time are you dedicated to Soul each week? It's only a dream until you write it down, then it becomes a goal. So write your goals, do a vision board. I don't think that I have that as an assignment this week, but like, honestly, you guys, I used to do vision boards every single month. I would do a new vision board cause I want that like short-term goal. And then also put some of your bigger things that you're working towards on that vision board. But every time I've done that or written it on my mirror, it comes true, right? I didn't hit 75K this month, but I hit 73,338, right? Like that's a big deal. So kind of do that. Okay, then page 7 is your first goals. The goal for every person in this group is that we want you to get to 1K. Okay, so that's $1,000. Your personal order counts towards that. But you'll be, posting your story. You're going to start the CRM. You'll be starting to make connections. We're going to have that happy hour. We'll have the business opportunity if, some of you have been doing the business for a little bit, or if there's people that you're like, hey, I do want to tell this person about my business. All of that stuff is kind of done for you. So we want to help you guys get to 1K your first month. Colleen, where's Colleen? She's over here somewhere. I got to meet her this weekend too. That was so awesome. She killed it last month. She hit 2K all on her own, and it was cute because she did some of the boot camp last month, and she was like, oh my gosh, what could I have done if I actually did the full 30 days? And so promise you that if you guys show up to do that, Colleen just is driven too, and she's, here's one thing that I will say, like, what makes the people that are successful? They believe it. How did I get successful? I believe that I can be successful, right? I really honestly, like, we can give you all of the tips and tools and trainings and all of that stuff, but if you don't believe that you can do it, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right? Have you ever heard that? So just show up for yourself. And okay, so you see here, 1 happy hour with 10 of your closest friends should yield you a specialist or 2 and probably 4 to 7 members. So statistically, that's what's been happening, is if you can get at least 10 people into one of these happy hours, you should be able to get a number of sales, okay? We're also going to teach you down the line, there's M2 meetings, which you can have, which means that if you have just 5 people that are not already members in a group, they can earn $50 in product credit, or they can upgrade to our team for free. We'll talk about that in the happy hour as well. These are all things that you'll kind of learn along the way. If you know right away that you have people that are interested, just let us know, and we can set you up an M2 meeting also, okay? You can be doing that while also inviting other people to this happy hour and so forth. So fill out that page. Page 8. This was exciting for me just because I'm competitive, mainly with myself. But when they were like, yeah, and if you hit, so 5K is once you're in a leader position, you have people under you, you have 2 people under you. If you hit that 5K twice in your first 120 days, so basically your 3rd and 4th month consecutively, you get an iPad. They send you an iPad. So I was like, all right, check, gonna get an iPad. So I did. My second month, I think I hit, in my second month, I was able to hit it. So, but why did I hit it so fast? A lot of people are like, yeah, well, because you came from Beachbody and you had hundreds of people. But guess what? I had to completely rebuild my business because everyone was like, wait, I thought Beachbody was the best thing in the world. Now you're talking about this. So again, it was that I just showed up every single day and I talked about it and I believe in it and I shared it. And so that's what I was able to do. So not only do you qualify for the iPad, but then you get the Smart Plan benefits as well. That's when you start to get that mentor match and the high five bonus, which is an additional 3% paid on your highest level. Okay, so that's where that part is really cool. And then page 9, now that you have your goals written down, put some steps in place to help you get there along the way. So it says right here, who can you help with soul? Who do you know that can use better health, extra money, or a tool for residual income? Everybody, right? Like, you know, in the beginning, I kind of was like, oh my gosh, almost like pretty much everybody I know could benefit from soul. But guess what? Everybody you know can benefit from soul. Like literally, you know, people that are trying to get pregnant, that are breastfeeding, that have children, that have sinus issues, that have anxiety, that have cancer maybe, that have on and on and on and on and on. This isn't a company where there's anything that they haven't thought of, right? This new Neuro IM, mind-blowing. Literally blows my mind that we have this product and that it's only $28.95. When we were talking about it at Snowbird, like I sat there in tears most of the time because I was like, this is going to change so many people's lives, including mine, right? Within the first 3 or 4 days, I found that I could find my words again. My brain wasn't thinking faster than my mouth. I can like sit here and have a conversation with you guys without going, I'm going through a lot right now, you know, so that could have definitely been playing a part of it. But I do a podcast and I will go back and listen to previous podcasts and I'm like, I couldn't even find my words like at all. So here I'm like doing a podcast and half the time I'm like, yeah. And luckily my friend that I do it with would kind of pick up the pieces, right? Because I literally couldn't find words. But you know, the infatuate. How many people do you know that are trying to do keto right now that have no idea what that even means, but they think they're doing keto? You know what I mean? Like, it's how many people are using essential oils, but how many people are spending hundreds of dollars on essential oils that are very mediocre, that don't literally, when we open the oils that Jennifer brings to us, Chris has been doing this for so long, you know, but you just open those oils and you feel different. My son loves these oils. The roller balls, since the roller bottles came out, he used to love the little bars. But all of a sudden, like we're driving from Michigan today, I think it was, and I turn around and I look back and he's like, literally, his whole entire face was just shiny, right? Like he just was full of oil. Like he knows that it makes him feel different. So we literally have something for everybody. So what you can do is before we get to the CRM day where everyone will do their 30 days free of the CRM, you can start to literally write this down. Now listen, you guys, this was something that this was another thing that in the beginning, even when I started my previous business, I was like, I'm not doing that. That's stupid. And do you think I'm going to reach out to these people? And I even went so far as to say this, and probably many of you have heard me say this that have been around for a while. I used to always say, the people that should support you the most probably won't. Do you remember me saying that, Heather? Okay, but listen, it is true. I'm like, my mom, none of my family's on it, but you know why? I haven't talked to them about it. I haven't talked to them. I haven't said, hey, mom, guess what? I know you've been complaining about all this inflammation and weight you've gained and blah, 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 blah. But instead of me just talking to her about it as I would with anybody else, I assume that she doesn't want to support me. That's a reality check. That's something that I need to get better at. So I need to come over here and make my own list of all the people that I think aren't supporting me and just reach out to them. So that's a good, it's a really good page to fill out too. So let's just, everybody fill out your pages 5 through 9, and then just start making your list whenever you get around to it this week. Target date for completing, the date of first happy hour. We already know that the first happy hour will be the second Wednesday of the month. Target date to hit 1K. Listen, a lot of you want to hit 1K this month, but why not say, hey, I want to hit 1K by September 15th? Why wait till the end of the month, right? You're also going to learn that, like, hitting Prime, for example, that's going to be another thing that we're going to want to go for this month. You know, let's try to hit Prime by the 10th or 15th of the month. When you front load your month like that, and then you have the rest of the month to either do a happy hour or do a couple of M2s or just be doing your CRM, then you're not working balls to the wall, if you will, the entire month. You're like trying to get it on. Sorry, that was bad. You're trying to get it done. You're trying to hit Prime, which by hitting Prime means you've already hit 1K also. So you kind of got that out of the way. All right, now let's just have these conversations. Let's do this other stuff in the background. Let's continue to post on my page. Let's just talk to people about it. Then what else can I accomplish that month, right? Hold on, I'll get to questions in just a second. Target date for Soul Leader 5K. Staying committed to your goals and your dreams is going to be a paramount if you want to achieve them. It has been said that every good thing that happens in your life is based upon a commitment you made. A commitment you made. Think about your health, faith, marriage, or business. A strong commitment not only benefits you, but others as well. And then how has keeping commitments benefited your life? If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Or I like to say, by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail, right? Kind of the same. Like if you already are like, oh, I don't know if I have 10 minutes a day for 30 days. If you already think that you might not have time to do the group, then I would literally just say you should do it next month. Only because there's never going to be a perfect time, and I really, really want this group to be full of people that are excited and that are going to show up for one another, okay? Because there's a lot of really excited people for this month, just as there are every month, but you see that the group starts to dwindle down and dwindle down and dwindle down, and then that doesn't give people that are excited about it in the beginning of a month a good security feeling about moving forward. So if you're here, you know, please commit, please check in on one another, please support each other, celebrate everything, and I promise you none of these days take very long at all. So it will be definitely worth it. Okay, and then just pages 14 talks about personal development. There's a couple of books on page 15 that you can check out. Otherwise, we could even do like a little thread. What's your favorite personal development book? Your little checklist, write down your why, schedule a time to sit down with your mentor to go over this workbook. Otherwise, just send me, if you're more comfortable sending me your pages, let's do that. Set up your soul save for the first of the month, familiarize with the document library, 5 key benefits, and pick up a book. I'm going to just share my screen really quickly so I can show you some things in the back office, and then we can hop off. Let me check on these questions really quick too. I think it is important to explain how our products are different. Yes, yes, yes. Can call and ask. Oh, Colleen, yeah, you can call and ask, but honestly, I've never seen so many specialists or whatever in any business as there are like around Kristen or whatever, but they still all kill it. So like I said, it's still so brand new. Explain how they're different. Michelle, I love you. Leslie, speaking to my heart. Oh, Yes. Amen. Oh my gosh, everything you're saying. Yes, Leslie, you are in the definitely right place. Compensation plan, we will, if you work like a hobby, it will get paid like a hobby. Yes, yes, yes. Helps to state your goals. If you state them, they will happen. Yes. Don't be afraid when you don't meet your goals. Okay, listen, yes, you guys, not meeting your goal. I mean, how does every successful person become successful? They fail over and over again, right? I've done a lot of silly things. Like, even in my, like when I started, you guys, I had, when I put it out to Facebook for your MTU, okay, yes, but also when we just put it out there and we don't specifically ask people, that's the thing. People are not just going to come to us. Like, you could have the best post in the world with the best picture, the best wording, the best everything. That does not, now a lot of times they will, right? A lot of times it works really awesome, and that's like what our hope is, and we're going to craft our story and we're going to post it, and hopefully people are going to, like, comment on it or get excited, but they might not, and that's okay, but at least they're watching now. Practicing live videos. Kelly, you're a beast. Yeah, 45 people. That was awesome. But what's going to be great is now you're going to be able to continue to talk about, like, look at how great these people are doing and stuff. But I'm the same. And just know that too. That's a good thing to know ahead of time. Not every post you do is going to draw people to you. That's also why we do the CRM, because you might post a really awesome post. What it is going to do is, if you're doing your CRM, meaning if you're interacting with other people's pages, and doing your CRM should only take about 30 to 40 minutes, okay? So it doesn't take that long. You could do parts of it in different parts of your day. If that's, if your day's crazy and you only have 20 minutes at a time, sit down and do it for 20 minutes and then come back for 20 more. The more people you reach out to a day, obviously the more people, are going to start being like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I've heard, like, even if you just commented on a post, like, oh my goodness, that was cool, and then they'll come up again next month. But let me just show you really, really quickly some of the things let me see if I'm signed in anywhere. Okay, hold on, let me find you guys again. I had to minimize. Okay. You guys can see this, right? Okay, so first things first, when you log in, we have this amazing resource center, okay? In this resource center, you have all kinds of different stuff: documents, videos, audio, webinars in Espanol. By the way, if you have any Espanol people in your life, please, please, please start talking to them about soul, because they know the importance of herbs. They also like to work businesses, and they like to get paid, and they are going to get paid. We're also about to be opening Mexico, probably the end of the year. There will be 5 distribution centers. That's really, really huge to know. So products, compensation plan. Here's where you can see all of the different sheets. You can also see the success tracker right over here. The success tracker is huge to send to people as you're talking to them about their products. One thing that's important is that, a lot of people don't realize that they have all of these different things going on. So you want to have them rate it, like right now when they're placing their order, or you could even send it to them before they've even ordered. Be like, okay, this is how we're going to check in. We're going to check in on the first week and the second week and on day 30 and so on and so forth. So then you're kind of setting that expectation and letting them know that you're going to be checking in often. If my computer dies, you guys, I'm so sorry. Then we have, here's what I like to use: the all product info sheet or the 5 key benefits. If the all product info sheet is a little overwhelming to you, here's just 5 key benefits. And I send one or the other to everyone. What I like about sending that whole document is, instead of just sending them the things that came up on their top 3 on their health assessment or whatever, is if you send them the all product info sheet, you're going to realize that they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize you had a probiotic. I take a probiotic. Maybe I should try your probiotic. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that you guys had, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that you had essential oils, right? So I do always like to send those over. Then you have the compensation plan stuff right there. You can see right here, this is really, shoot, I wish I was in my office. My computer might die. It will show you, you know, what you need to hit each rank. So a specialist, you don't have to have any team members under you. A 1K or a 2K, you don't need any specialists under you. Once you hit 3K, you need to at least have one specialist who is at least at 1,000. Now, a lot of you are going to come in and knock it out of the park. And if you do that, what else is really cool, which will not happen with any other business, is that I'm trying to see who's not on mute, is that we can help you with a specialist. We can put a specialist under you to help you until you have somebody that's working the business, okay? And then you see the different levels. You get, you know, how many levels do you get paid on? You get paid on 1 level, then you get paid on 2 levels, then 3 levels. Your high 5, that would be, you get 2% on top of your highest level, which is 10. So you would actually make 12% on your highest level. So those things are all important to know too. One last thing I wanted to show you really quickly is we also have what's called the Soul Pro certification, and that's going to be up here next to your resource center. And that is an amazing tool just to learn a lot more of the sciencey stuff. You'll learn a lot from Dr. Allison, stuff like that. You actually get like a little certification when you complete it. So that's really exciting. Okay, I think somebody else. Yeah, you got to jump off. I do too. Well, I don't have to jump off, but my computer is going to die. So thank you guys you cannot access that from your phone. Okay, good to know. Yes, you guys, thank you so much. Oh, one thing I wanted to say too, try when you're sitting down to work and to do your CRM, do that from a computer. That is one thing that I do like to say. Like if you're going to sit down to work, sit down to work. If you try to do your CRM from your phone, it's going to take you forever and you're going to be like, oh, this is so, I don't want to do this. It takes too long. So, you know, if you dedicate an hour a day to your business, get a laptop, sit down, find a space, and try to do that. Yeah, Darlene, you didn't get your binder yet. It should come pretty soon for sure. So as soon as it does come, just kind of fill out those pages and you can just go ahead and send it to me. And yeah, I'm going to try to do a Zoom pretty often for us just to stay connected. And like I said, I'll probably do some live videos throughout the week and stuff like that. But I will also most likely start a chat just for this group, for the training group. We obviously have the soul chat already and we have all of these things. So I don't want to pile on a ton of stuff for you. Also, if you guys are in those chats, you can mute them. I didn't know if you were aware of that, but don't feel like you have to keep up. You'll never be able to keep up. Half the time you won't even see me respond, and that's because I'm already talking to 1,500 other people. So don't let it overwhelm you to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be in this chat, because trust me, there's going to be times where you are going to want somebody to answer you right now. You know what I mean? So just mute it. Don't feel overwhelmed by it. Just try to give your attention to this group for the next 30 days. It'll be Monday through Friday. Sometimes randomly I'll post something on a Saturday, but it won't be like an assignment or whatever. And yeah, just kind of commit to the next 30 days. And I can't wait to see what you guys all do. And I appreciate your time and all of your words and your hearts. And I'm so glad that you all are here. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good night, you guys.
You too. Thanks, Steph.
You're welcome. Thank you.